With Eastern Buckeye Track Club TV, and with me is Don Groubert. He is one of our throwers who is going to be competing at the World Masters Athletic Championships in Gainesville, Florida. He's been working very hard getting prepared. What events are you doing, Don?
I'm doing indoor shot and then outdoors with the discus and then javelin, hammer, and the last day back indoors for the weight throw.
Now, you just came off of competing at the regional competition, the Midwest Regional over at Taylor University near Fort Wayne, Indiana. How did that go for you? How would you evaluate your performance?
I was very relaxed. There was not a lot of chaos going on like normally when I'm throwing at Youngstown State and then also in charge of the meet. But I was kind of glad. There were some things that been working with YSU's coach and was able to incorporate that into the meet on last Saturday.
So we were talking before this. You were training today. What was that training like? Can you walk us through it?
This morning I was over my Planet Fitness and I have a trainer. We did lower legs and we also did core and then multiple stretches. And then I was on the bike for 35 minutes and on the rowing machine for another 5. And then later in the afternoon, I stopped down to YSU and threw the discus and hammer today with the kids.
So are you feeling confident about Gainesville next week?
I feel excited just to represent United States and just to be down there amongst everyone from the world. It's not as intense or not as big as the Pan Ams were last year because it was just basically it was my first international meet, but not with a lot of people from different parts of the world. There was a lot just from North America and Central and a few from South America. But I'm looking forward to it.
I was looking at the numbers of competitors in each of your events at the World Masters Games, and it looks like you'll face the most competition in the discus. I counted 29 in that one.
29, I think 14 were Americans.
Yeah.
The rest of them were right around 22 to 24 with no more than 12 other Americans throwing in those.
Well, it looks like you're coming into this pretty highly ranked, really. I was looking at those today too before our interview. You're coming in at number 13 in the super weight, number 16 in the weight throw in the United States. So I'd say that's a pretty good number to start with.
It is, and it just falls back from last summer with my first top 10 ranking in the ultra weight pent, and also the super weight outdoors was somewhere around 14th, and the throw pent was around 22nd in the nation.
Now, for anybody who may watch this and doesn't know you, you've come to throwing kind of the long way around. You were a distance runner at Crestview High School and one of the best, and now you've turned it around and you're throwing. How did that come about?
It came about to improve my health. After many years away from competing, I coached both boys and girls high school at Columbiana, and then we put in our all-weather track, and then I was officiating, and it was after 2018 when I was had a very rare skin disease hit me, and through the medication and through some hard work was able to get it back manageable, and then it was just deciding I need to keep myself healthy, and that's been always been a passion for me is track and field. So I just went the opposite direction because the way I'm built today, I don't think I could run too far as I did in my younger days. But I'm picking up on the throws and learning, and this is my third indoor, and starting next summer I'll be in my 4th year, and and the little young kid in the new age group. As I turned 65 in April and be in the 65, 69 age group.
I see a lot online. People, they're just learning about Masters Track. They're just learning about USA Track and Field and Masters Track in particular. What advice would you have for somebody that thinks they might want to get back involved? How could they do that?
Don't be intimidated. Do not be intimidated. I remember the first meet I came back and competed was out at Slippery Rock, one of their all comers, and it was my first meet to compete in since Ronald Reagan was in office. And that day there was at Salem for the Wayne Russell. It was a 10K in the morning. My two boys did their events, and then I did the 1, 2, and 3 miles on the track. And some 40 some years I'm back, 30 some years I'm back throwing, and I felt like a middle school kid. So just it'll be there, but you just got to do the work and just plug through and be very relaxed. Some of these kids that you throw against, or even younger adults, they're rooting for you, and that just don't be intimidated.
One of the questions I saw online recently was from someone who said, I don't know where I can train. And we're lucky around here in Eastern Ohio. We have facilities to use. My high school's track is open to the public, but a lot of tracks aren't these days, and a lot of people don't have a place to train at. Do you have any tips for anyone looking for a place to train and how they would go about finding that?
Just ask your local school first, athletic director or superintendent, or even the track coach, if you're able to use their facility. I know at Columbiana, I'm welcome there as long as I'm not interfering with the high school kids. I'm lucky to be the coordinator official at Youngstown State, so I have the Watts. And the wintertime, I'm inside there 2 days a week. I have a throwing group that throws on Sundays, and we're moving outdoors using the facility down to Smoky Hollow on Sundays. And I had a young freshman that started earlier this year and was barely throwing the disc around 60 feet. And he's from your school, from Beaver Local. And the other day he was popping 120, 130 feet out with the disc. And started the year out throwing the indoor shot around 25 and was hitting 30, 31 at the end of the year. So he's excited for the outdoor season to start. But just ask around the area that you're from. I have connections, and that's what helps me out.
We've talked about this one before, but in going to these meets and competing against people that are a lot younger, do you feel that you're being a good example to people of good health, of keeping up your health and your interests as you get older?
Yeah, I think so. Today, that with the YSU kids, they were boosting me up. I thought I was throwing poorly, especially one disc looked like it should have been shot by a duck hunter because it was flopping in the air. And they said, "Don, that looks pretty good." So yeah, the younger kids will encourage you. They'll help you out. You just don't have that intimidation feeling.
Now, do your training partners at YSU know of your trip coming up to Gainesville?
Yes, they do. As a matter of fact, I got 3 different groups to send stuff to during the week, every day, what's going on. They want to know what's happening, and they'll get up to date every day that we're there, even when it's training.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm hoping to be able to take a lot of video and pictures. It's going to pose a little bit of difficulty because our venues are not at the same place. The running events are at one location and throwing events are at another.
Yeah, they're like 8 miles away from each other. And then including the cross country course is also on the same old golf course. And I think the road race too is right around there. So everybody is spread out. And the group that's going down, I think we only got one day that no one's competing, and that would be Monday. It's a free day to go and do anything we want to in the town.
So I know
As
your
long as
wife,
we don't see any, as long as we don't see any gators or snakes.
I know your wife Lisa is going to be accompanying you. Is she excited about this as well?
Yeah, it's been a long time since we've had a vacation. So she's excited to go down and and just get away and just enjoy. Especially getting in down there in Florida where it's already 70 and 80 degrees and we're still in the middle of March here.
I think this competition is a little bit different in that we are actually getting uniforms to wear representing the United States.
Hmm.
And I think that makes it extra exciting, don't you?
Yeah, it does. It's like I said, it's going to be exciting just to have the USA on the chest and just competing with other masters and some people that I know and just to have fun and see if I can set any PRs. That's the key.
It is the key. Well, I think you're going to have some good competition and good people to push you along and lots of fans. Your team's going to
Lots.
be behind you.
Yep.
So we're very excited. And we will pick up this conversation when we get down to Gainesville, I'm sure. I know Phil Pillen has all these ideas for videos we can do. So
I'm sure he has a fish fry somewhere on Friday nights.
I'm sure he'll locate that. Well, hey, Don, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate it. And we
Thank
are
you, Sheri.
have a great team in Gainesville representing Eastern Ohio and also the United States of America.
That'd be an honor. And
Okay.
we have a little visitor came into the room, so